I'd like to take us through an update for our vision offering this week. After a long process earlier this year, we finally managed to get the mortgage in place and we were able to start the building work on the extension. Now, right from the start, we knew the mortgage was going to pay for the building, and that was it. We were limited in how much we could get on the mortgage, which meant the children's room and the second foyer were not possible in this phase. And furnishings and fitting out the building would need a separate source of funds. But with the mortgage approved, we were able to start building. Although we were in lockdown, we were able to start the building work. And on the 18th of February, the builder started digging the new foundations. It was amazing to see the building going up right in the middle of lockdown. In March, the new steel went up. In April, I got to lay a brick on the wall as the wall went up. That you can still notice from the outside, as I did a terrible job. And by the middle of April, the wall was up. By the middle of May, the roof was on and we were watertight. Then the work moved inside, where it slowed down rather a lot. The plastering had been a big, expensive job, but it is now, as you can see, complete. We have a room. We have a boiler. We are getting lights soon, and the platform's going in, and carpets will be coming along. 8 months of building, and we are at the closing stages. Because of COVID and the economic repercussions, it's taken longer than we hoped and cost more than we would have hoped. Although the way those costs are currently heading in the building industry, be thankful we started when we did rather than now. We have been careful with the money raised, but we also want to ensure the church will be at the best we can make it. So there were other things along the way that also added to the higher costs. We decided to get the damp proofing done on the walls of the church, something we'd not planned to do, but something we'd have regretted not doing in years to come. And now it's done and guaranteed. Raising the level of the inner ceiling was not in the plan originally, but it makes for a much better space. However, that meant higher costs for plastering, insulating, and for painting. It also meant we had to get a bigger boiler to heat the bigger room. It was the right call, but it increased the cost. Some of that has, thank God, been offset through the selling of the Stockton building. But we do have a way to go before we can move in. And that brings me to what we are asking for today. We knew from the start that we'd come up short after the essential building work was done. There were things that were not in the original budget, some because we came across them on the way, and others because they were finishings that were not part of the mortgage offer. The mortgage paid for the building, but now we need to put things in the building. These include speakers and sound equipment, projectors, of which we'll need 2 because of the shape of the room, lighting for the platform area, cupboards in the main hall, the coffee bar kitchen area, coffee bar furniture such as tables and chairs, extra seating for the hall, general furnishings, toilet seats and finishings, signage for the front of the building, car park finishes, security fencing and gates, and so on. Now, the large building work is done. It's these things we need to meet the cost of before we can move in. So we are asking once again, as we did 3 years ago when this build began, when Adrian started in the foyer, for an offering over our regular vision offering. Our regular vision offering is now covering the mortgage, but to get us in the building, we need to have something extra. And hey, I'll be honest, when I saw the figure, it certainly tested my faith. But you know, those are the great occasions in life to trust God and to trust when He calls us to do something, He makes it possible. And He's never failed me yet. It was C.T. Studd who was famous for saying, "Funds are low again. Hallelujah." That means God trusts us and is willing to leave His reputation in our hands. That is a great attitude, isn't it? And it's situations like this that our faith is tested in, isn't it? I believe God has called us back here. So I absolutely believe God will get us here. So the plan for the month of October is we're asking everyone who's part of New Life to seek God and pray for what you can give above your regular vision offering. We will give opportunity each week in all of our meetings, culminating in our next vision offering at the United meeting in November. Mark your envelopes as special vision offering so that we can tell it apart from the regular one. And our target, the amount we need to raise to get us in the building, you ready for this, is £30,000. Which, believe me, I know, is a target to get our faith tested. It seems like quite the mountain. But it is actually the same amount we managed to raise at the start of this project to get it going. If 30 people gave £1,000, it would be done just like that. If 60 people gave £500, if 120 people gave £250. Now, I'm always uncomfortable asking. You know that, always. But I know this. This is something that will be worth it. Not just to move into the building, but to move in and it be right and to the best standard we can do it. So church, I commit this challenge to you and to God, knowing He can make a way where there seems to be no way. And as we achieve this, we are one step away from our new home. God bless you, church.